The views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the policy or position of ONTV's management, staff, or board of directors.
Hello, and welcome to Political News, Political Views. My name is David Lillis. I have not been on the air in quite a while, but I feel now that I think it's necessary that people start to speak out. I've tried to do a podcast before, but I had some problems because I would get so angry I would overstep what I was saying. And where I'm at right now, we have an opportunity to speak our mind and in a safe area, safe position. The thing is, the reason I'm here is we are all watching what's happening to us, to this country. I grew up where this country was looked upon as a utopia. Well, we were never a utopia, but we did a pretty good job of being close. We had a people that cared. We were into high education and giving people good lives, no matter what station in life you were at. But what I see now, I see a cloud coming over us. We are looked on by other countries as dangerous and a joke. Now, the thing is, with this show, I was inspired by a man named Lou Gordon. So for those who are my age, you'll remember he used to have a show on WKBD, Detroit. And he was highly intelligent. He fought. He knew what he was talking about. And his opening line was no teleprompters, no cue cards, no idiot boards, just plain ad-lib conversation. And that's what I'm going to do now. So as you're listening to this is my opinion. I'm sharing it. And the reason I'm sharing it is because, like most people, I don't like what I'm seeing. To argue about it on the street and with other people who do not put facts behind it, who look at it like this is a reality show, and Trump does treat his job like a reality show. In fact, when he first took office in 2017, that was one of the things that he said to Rance Priebus. Just treat every day like a new episode. Well, my life is not a reality show, and it's not to be treated like an episode. I look at my world right now, and I'm listening to the news, which a lot of people don't want to listen to because it scares them. And it does. It is very scary. Some of the stuff, if you had told me this 20 years ago, I would have said, oh, that sounds like a bad movie. Well, this is not a bad movie. This is reality. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like I said, some of you are not going to agree with me, and that's fine. But if we can have dialogue and talk, that's the first step. But right now we are so divided, it's just disgusting. Now, my background, I grew up in a small town in Boyne City. And I went to a small school. And we were taught how to think. Now, I've said this before on other shows, and the reason that's important is what I see now is one man, or well, two men, three men, and I'm generous with that term, men, talking about what they want to do for this country, and I can hear them destroying it. I learned the difference between right and wrong. And I hear a lot of wrong. I learned to check things out. I learned to get the facts. Without facts, without proof of what's going on, we're doomed. Because the lies that are coming out of there are going to have an effect on this. And when I ran for office, one of the things that I always told people was, just remember this. Whatever these people do, you got to live with it and you got to pay for it. Do you want an example? I'll give you one. Right now, Elon Musk, through Donald Trump, and Trump is lying because he says he doesn't want to touch Social Security, and I'm only going to focus on Social Security for this example. He says he doesn't want to touch it, but yet that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to do it in a roundabout way where, number one, he can push it through, and then you have to accept it. And two, he needs somebody to blame for it. So just taking the issue of Social Security. Right now, I'm 68 years old. And I've been working, come July, will be 54 years. Elon Musk said that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam. He wants to take it out. Well, the thing he says it's an entitlement. It's not an entitlement. For 54 years, I have been paying into it. They have taken it out. Look at the right side of your paycheck. You have been paying into Social Security. This is not an entitlement. This is money taken out for your future. That's what it was set up for. When Franklin Roosevelt put it into effect, 17 people paid in and 1 people collect. Unfortunately, over the years, several things have happened. One was politicians decided in the 50s, 60s, and 70s when there was a surplus that they would start borrowing from it and putting in an IOU. Well, it got to the point that they were only in office for so long. So when they went out of office, what difference did it make if it got paid back or not? Well, it didn't. They didn't even pay the interest on it. So that was one fault, but that was the people in the government. That was not the people here. And recently, with the baby boomers, of which I'm one, we all seem to be retiring at the same time. It was bound to happen. But the fact of the matter is, I paid that money into it, and I'm entitled to get it back with interest. I am still working now, even though I collect Social Security. Social Security helps. That's all. It is not a panacea. It's not a gold mine. It's not a check that gives you a chance to go on a cruise. The fact of the matter is, it helps out. This is what I did for my retirement. Elon Musk doesn't even know what he's talking about. And yet he comes up with these comments that he cannot back up. And he thinks I'm stupid that I'm going to sit here and take it when I know better. And I know that many of you out there know better. Now, right now, I've talked to a few people that, oh, well, I don't worry about Social Security. It'll be there. Well, what happens if it isn't? One thing Trump has said in this particular situation that he's in now, damn the Constitution. If he had his way, he'd wipe his ass with it. The government works for the people, not the other way around. They are not doing us a favor. We pay for that. The amazing part is we pay for the Social Security to be processed, when we go there to the office, they want to close offices, making it harder for you. They want to cut the people answering the phones. Musk, for his so-called intelligence, and one of the congressmen today said he's highly intelligent, he's a jackass. He is a damn jackass. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He wants to cut 8,000 people. Now, for all of you that work in an office, people have jobs that they have to do. If there is waste where people are lollygagging around or not even showing up for work and getting a paycheck, okay, they should be out. No question about it. If there's fraud in there, you find the fraud. You don't lay off 8,000 people and say, we're going to cut, and that's going to cut waste. No, you're cutting lives. These are human beings. The job still has to be done. And yet by cutting all these people, and Social Security being one of them, and as I say, I'm using that as an example because we can go further into Medicare, Medicaid. We pay for that. That comes out of our pockets. Elon Musk is worth $434 billion. 140 of it he got after the election. It's a Ponzi scheme with him and Trump. But we're the victims. And I'm telling you now, all of you that are listening, whether you agree with me or not, it doesn't matter. If they keep doing what they're doing for Trump's maggots and followers and the people who want to believe him, this is a warning to you. You will share in our shit. Because it covers all of us. Example, Medicaid. They want to cut Medicaid. What Trump doesn't understand is Medicaid is necessary because not everyone has great jobs. There are people, we are a benevolent society, or we were. And by making all these cuts, while the poor people down in Alabama, Arkansas, Texas, New Mexico, Mississippi, Louisiana, West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky. These are states that use Medicaid that voted for Trump. Trump has no feeling for anybody except himself. When are you going to notice that? Does it make me angry? Yes, it does. Because I watch this stuff on the news, and this is why most people don't. Because they want to, I don't want to hear it. It makes me upset. Or, I don't have time. I'd rather watch, I don't know, some damn stupid show. Go ahead. Because as I say, you will share in our shit. If this stuff keeps going, and it happens, and what they're trying to do is get it through while you're not paying attention. There's many other areas. The financial protection that we had after 2008 for predators, financial predators, and they're still out there. And I believe Elon Musk is one of them, and I'll explain why in just a second. That was for our protection. It saved many, many, many people. Those that did it and got caught took their chances. Now take that protection away and see what happens. You'll share in our shit. You have someone in HHS, Kennedy. Kennedy knows nothing about medicine. Nothing. And yet they put him in charge. Your kid's health. Now, here's a question to ask yourself. When you were coming up, your parents took you, you got the measles vaccination, you got other vaccinations, no problem. I had the measles, I had the vaccine, but the vaccine kept it from getting worse. So I got through it. My brothers sister did too. It didn't hurt anyone. This crap about vaccines because he says it causes autism. Well, you know something? Hershey bars cause diabetes. Should we cut those? Oh, and here's here's one that I used to say during COVID. Yeah, everyone was saying you got to wear a mask, you got to do all this, you got to do all this. I said I'm surprised they don't. Like for myself, I had a Hershey bar every day. I never got COVID. Should we equate a Hershey bar with keeping me from getting COVID? No, that's stupid. But some of their comments are akin to that. Kennedy knows absolutely nothing. He's cutting funding for research that can save lives. I have worked in hospitals. I worked at Henry Ford. I worked at Beaumont. I'm working at another place now. The thing is, every day they come up with more and more and new things to protect our lives, and yet you want to put this jackass in there who wants to cut funding. Musk has gone into the FAA. Why did he go into the FAA? Because one of his missiles 3 days before burst and blew up. And when the FAA went to go after him, he had Trump fire him. Vaccines are important. Air traffic controllers are important. When you're on that plane and that plane is in the air, you goddamn well better hope that that person in there knows what he's doing. And the fact is, Musk is terminating them. And part of the reason is because they're DEI. We are human beings. Cut this shit out. This country was for human beings. It's not a white man's world, and that's what they're trying to make it. Musk and Trump are both in that line. Trump's father was a KKK man. Now, I'm rambling a bit, but the point is, we have a government now that is going after its own citizens. And I don't know how you feel, but I'm going to say something. And if those damn red hats come up to me, you know what's funny with the red hats? They have no solution except Trump this, Trump that. Trump, if you listen to him, he's a jackass. He's an absolute jackass. He keeps telling me I'm a stable genius. You are not a stable genius. You are a lousy businessman. You're a lousy human being. But what he is a con man. And is he good? Yes. He's been getting these big businesses to give him money. Off to the side, under the table, selling horse shit. Selling a guitar that he signed for $10,000. Just because he put his signature on. A pair of gym shoes that look disgusting. He only made so many and then oversold and told them, oh, well, you'll get your shoes in 2 to 3 years. 3 days before inauguration, he sold a coin with that bullshit fight, and I still question that situation there. I'll get into that in another time. And he made $58 million off of it. There's no value to it. The only value that I can see is you can take it and throw it at Trump Tower and try to break a window. That's the only thing I wouldn't give you anything for it. It dropped. And then what happens? Melania does the same thing. And now Trump and Musk want to bring in cryptocurrency. Do you remember what happened under George H.W. Bush's administration when the public had to pay for the government's mistake? This is a scheme where they can control it. They will collect, and we eventually will end up paying it off. Now I have another question. I'm rambling a bit, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. I want to know why all these cuts, and here's one I'm warning you. And the reason I'm telling you this is pay attention because they're trying to pull off this crap about if Musk hits $2 trillion in savings, they're going to send, no, wait a minute, let me correct that. You must listen to the words. Use your brain. Listen to the words. If he cuts $2 trillion off the budget, they would consider sending every family who pays income tax $5,000. Does that make sense? He said they would consider. Another thing about Social Security I just want to throw in there. They keep talking about illegal aliens. Musk is not an American. He's South African. And Peter Thiel is another South African who now want a white apartheid. They want it in America, and they want it in South Africa, and Trump is going along with it. Just a side note. But all these people they say are illegal aliens who are working. They're the ones that clean your toilets. They're the ones that sweep up after you. They're the ones that wash your dishes. They're the ones that pick that fruit, pick the vegetables. They're the ones that cart the stuff off. They're the ones that do the dirtiest jobs because Americans won't. You're not going to send your son or daughter to college to go and clean up the streets with a college degree. No, that's crazy. But we have people who are here who are law-abiding, and there are some that are not. Yes, there are. Let's be realistic. But you don't say the whole race, and that's what they do. There are some who are criminals. They should go. No question. No argument from anyone. But the whole Hispanic race is not what Trump says. When they work, they pay taxes. When they work, they pay Social Security. But you know what the big thing is? They can't collect it. They pay into it, but they cannot collect. That money goes to you. You want another thing that Trump is proud of? Trump is, the next fact that I'm going to tell you, Trump is absolutely proud of this. Social Security, because of all the people that died of COVID, saved $207 billion. Now that's a hell of a fact to want to be proud of. You didn't give a damn about people dying during that whole time. All you did was worry about your image and getting reelected. Why? Because you were going to go to jail. And Elon Musk saved your ass. He kept you from going to jail. You didn't win a mandate, Trumpy Poo. You did not win a mandate. You barely won. And had the people of Dearborn Heights, and Hamtramck voted, and some of the others in the other states that sat it out, if Trump succeeds and Musk succeeds in what they do, you got what you deserved. You had the right to exercise your voice, and you didn't. I'm exercising my voice right now. And when I go back out on the street, I'm going to pay a price for it. And I'm going to tell you something else that you better pay attention to. You have a voice for now. Watch the news. Go on your computer. Watch the news every day. Read it. Think about it. Fact check it. Fact check it. Fact check it. Alternative facts don't work. When you see something on there, pay attention. Whatever these people do, you will live with it and you will pay for it. There's an old saying, and probably an old song. I believe it is a song too. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Pay attention. Pay attention. That's what you need to do. Listen and, oh, wow, look at that. Probably a bill collector, or probably Trump trying to call me and tell me to shut up. Well, I've rambled quite a bit, but I brought up the Social Security and a few other things. The fact is, these things are getting out of hand. And you need to know the truth. Larry Kudlow and John Navarro shut the hell up. If you can hear me on this podcast, Larry Kudlow, shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, as long as we're talking about Social Security, let's throw in tariffs. Trump is using tariffs like a weapon. He doesn't even know what they are. And what amazes me is Navarro and Kudlow and all these people, Lutnick and all these, they know Trump is wrong. They know it. They know for a fact he's wrong. They have explained it to us. And yet, you're not paying attention. Because all this, you will pay for it. You will. Trump won't pay for it. You will. That shit about it's going to bring all kinds of billions of dollars. He has no idea what he's talking about. Every day he gets on TV and he talks stupid. Absolutely stupid. And yet, we listen to it and say, oh my God, what? Look what, oh, he's protecting us. No, he isn't. He's selling us out. Now, before you start saying something to me about hating Republicans, hell no. Hell no. There was a great Republican Party. They were respectful. One of my favorites was Ronald Reagan. I got to meet and feed Ronald Reagan 4 times. Genuine, upstanding, perfect? Hell no. Nobody is. That man was a Republican. That's the Republican Party. Gerald Ford was a Republican Party. I voted for him. George H.W. Bush. I wouldn't even take George W. Bush right now. He'd be a light year improvement. Again, I'm rambling. If you don't like what I'm saying and you see it on TV, go ahead and throw a shoe at it. I don't care. Okay, I want to take some time because I have the right to do it, and I'm going to do it anyway. I know a lot of you listen to Joe Rogan. I've listened to him a couple of times. He says some reasonable things, and then he's a shit starter. Steve Bannon is just a gorilla who should be put back in the zoo. I don't see how people can listen to Steve Bannon with all the things that he's done. He's a crook. He's a thief. He's a wife beater. I think he's a wife beater. We'll fact check that. But he's not somebody who gives a damn about people. He cares about power. He cares about absolute control. But just to throw something in on Steve Bannon, he also had a little skirmish with starting a GoFundMe page to build a wall. Him and 3 of his friends. They stole that money. Oh, he's all for America. That's why he stole that money and was found on a Chinese yacht with a lot of women. Yeah, he stole that money. He built a wall, all right. A wall of women. He got arrested. Trump pardoned him. Trump's good for that. If you're a criminal, yeah, Trump will pardon you. Yeah, look at January 6th. Okay, I want to break off just for a minute. I want to get kind of... This is something I want to do. And for those of you that feel the way I do, I hope you say something. To Vladimir Zelensky. Vladimir Zelensky is an absolute superhero. He stuck up for his country. He stayed there. He fought to get funds and get everybody rounded up to save his country. Joe Biden brought NATO and our allies back together. And the Trumpster destroyed it. I watched what Trump, Vance, and Marco Rubio, by sitting there like a goddamn leprechaun, said to him, Vladimir Zelensky is a superhero. He is somebody that should go down in history as one of the greatest people ever. Donald Trump is a piece of shit, and J.D. Vance is nothing but a rectal thermometer. That man fought for his country. And the abuse he took, Vladimir Zelensky, if you ever hear this or if anybody ever sees you, I'm saying this. Thank you. You are an inspiration. You are a superhero to me. Unfortunately, you ran into a jackass. And you did not know how to speak jackass. And that is sad. To the people of Ukraine, you are heroes. You fought for your country. The people in this country, we used to be like that. Some still are. We fought for America because it was right. We fought for America because it was ours. Vladimir Zelensky, thank you. Trump, shut the hell up. Shut your mouth. Next, Canada. I love Canada. I love the Canadian people. I love Mexico and the Mexican people. Mr. Ford is right. This whole thing started with Trump for no reason. He bitched and pissed and moaned. See, Trump is a reality show person. He's not smart. Even when he was on the show, and this has now been recorded in a book by the producer of the show, Trump knew little or nothing about business. They had to coach him through. He was not their first choice. In fact, he was kind of the bottom of the barrel. They got him because, well, he's a freak. And from what they read in the book is that they had to teach him everything he knew. He sits in the White House now telling you how much he knows. He knows nothing. I know more than he does. But you're screwing with our best friends. The people who would give their right arm to defend us. Canada, I apologize to you for what this jackass is doing. The Trumpster. Put the Trumpster in the dumpster. Because that's where he belongs. And throw Vance in too. Vance got his position because of Peter Thiel. Because he would do what Peter Thiel said. What's amazing to me is J.D. Vance despises LGBTQ, but he'll take millions of dollars from someone who's gay. Oh, if you're gay and you're rich, that's okay. You count. But if you're not, then you have comments about him. But anyway, get back to Canada. Canada, you have a beautiful country. Do not take his shit. Give it back to him. Stand up to him because he can't take it. Trump is a bully who needs somebody in front of him, and that's what he thinks Elon Musk is. Elon Musk is sticking it up his ass. If people, and I'm asking all of you, look at what Musk is doing. The comment that he made over the weekend is, Ukraine, you should be great, or wait a minute, no, it was Poland. It was Poland. You should be grateful that my Starlink is helping you. His Starlink, he wants to do the same thing with our air traffic controllers. You know why? Because that gives him control over the whole system. He can shut it down. Your safety right now has gone down because of Elon Musk. Even Duffy, the person they put in charge there, he's scared. People, listen to what is going on around you. Yes, it's scary because this never should happen. The basis of our government is the people rule. And you're not ruling right now. They're taking from you. They're running a game on you. And if you allow it to happen, you may not be able to go back. You don't know what you got till it's gone. You better... I'll tell you a sad story. When I was younger, I used to bitch and piss and moan like I'm doing now, so I haven't changed. But my boss once told me, you need to shut your mouth, take 2 steps back, and look at your life. Is it all that bad? Well, I wasn't too thrilled with the comment, but I did what he said. And he was right. I'm asking all of you, take 2 steps back. What are you willing to give up? Because they're not asking you to give it up, they're taking it from you. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. You pay for that. It's not a gift. It needs to be, they want to privatize it because then they can make money and Trump can get a kickback. If you knew how much money Trump has made, he's not going to let anyone know. I'll get into that in another show. He's not going to let anyone know how much he has siphoned off the government. Right now, he's doing it. Right this minute. Every single day. We used to have a Republican Party, and it was a respectable Republican Party. If you ask someone, what is a liberal? It's kind of hard to say. There is a definition there for sure. They call it permissiveness, do whatever you want, free love, all of that. And there's some truth to that. But it's not that they're radical, monsters. Then you go to the far extreme right. Well, we know what they are. They're conservative. They want everything back when it was 1774. White men ruled. We had a king. Did what you were told. There was a society that put you in your place. You were told what you were going to do. Well, the Republican Party was quite respectable at one time. Many good Republicans. Now I'm going to throw this out there because I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for it. The Republican Party right now is owned by Trump. Every time you contribute to the Republican Party, 5% comes off and goes to him. He put his daughter-in-law in charge of it, and everyone in there works for Trump. Not for the Republican Party, but for Trump. Not for you Republicans. You're nothing except pockets of money. So, the thing is, for you Republicans, and I've asked this question, now I can kind of answer it, as quick as I can ask it, that why don't Republicans, true Republicans, split? Let Trump have his party. It can be the Trumpy Poo party. Let him have his party. Move him off. Rebuild the Republican Party. Well, here's the reason why. One, what they have to do is do a absolute split so that they can put their own candidates on the ballot. So there should be 3. Trump would just bleed the Trump party to death. He would destroy it. The reason Republicans won't is because they probably wouldn't get many offices. But you know something? Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Fred Upton, Peter Meyer. There are respectable Republicans out there. You need to restart your party. Democrats, you need to help them restart their party. And you need to work together to save us from this con man and this con party. all of you, listen to Elon Musk and what he says, and then check it out. Don't just let it go in one ear and out the other. Dissect it. Listen to the words. Right now, our country's looked at in a disgusting way. Other countries are starting to look to China, to Russia. What they don't know is Trump thinks he's going to be part of that new world order, which is why he's doing to Zelensky what he is. Zelensky, I would rather that you give Trump the finger and go it alone, because basically he's sticking it up your ass. He's trying to work with Putin to give him more strength so that he can take over. They have a plan for a new world order. America is a hard way to go for something like that, but it can happen. If you don't pay attention, it's going to happen to you. And I'm telling you, you ain't going to like it. You're not going to like it. They've been giving Trump money under the table, business people, because all these cuts that Trump wants to make, there's a reason for it. When he was in office in 2017, he cut the taxes. And in fairness, they were too high. 38% was too high. No argument there. But even the billionaires said, cut it down to 34, 33%. That's fair, because we can pay it. Trump wants now to cut it down to 15%, which means that the majority of you, dollar for dollar, are paying more in taxes than billionaires. There are 2,500 billionaires in this country, and they pay no taxes. But yet they use all the facilities. They use the roads. They use the TVs. That's stuff that you pay for, that your tax money pays for, not them. They don't want to pay for it. And they talked about trickle-down effect. Trickle-down effect does not work. Trump doesn't even know what he's talking about. He may have gone to the school of Wharton Business School. All he did was go there to have lunch. He knows nothing about business. He was a failure at business. I'll tell you one of the things that he did that I found it was despicable what he did. He has a winery, and in 2018 or 19, they had closed up and bottled for the season, and they were getting ready to shut it down. This was Trump's winery. He owned it. He was the president. He owned it. You can check me out on this. After the workers came out, 19 of them were illegal aliens. Trump had ICE out there, had them arrested and sent back to Mexico. Didn't pay them. Great businessman, con artist. Those cards that you have on the computer that you paid $99 for, I don't even know what the hell you paid. That's asinine. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has given millions of dollars to Trump because in the first time he was in office, he didn't like what the Washington Post said about him. So he threatened Jeff Bezos through the post office, cut down his contract. That contract was fair. This was just Trump's ego getting into play. So Bezos went out and bought trucks. Started all different. So now here comes Trumpy Poo again. And he basically told him, the $10 billion contract you have with the federal government, I'll cut it. So Bezos giving millions and millions. I got to say this. I have to say this. I'm going to say it over and over again. He gave $40 million to Melania to do a documentary on her. He didn't need to give her $40 million. He could have given her $4 million, and I could have directed it for him. It's really very simple. The documentary for Melania Trump is this. You can put lipstick and perfume on a pig, but she's still a pig. So she's even in on it. She even put out her own coin, and the value dropped 80%. All these people, how can people talk about not having money and the economy is so bad, and you're giving this jackass money out of your pocket for something that has no value? I mean, maybe you can sleep with it and make you feel good, or you can rub it for luck. You have a better chance on the lottery than to give him money. But he keeps it up and keeps it up and keeps it up. Now he's got a gold card, $5 million gold card to get into the country, and you can bypass. Yes. Jared Kushner's mother tried that in China in 2017. She was trying to sell cards through immigration. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Grow up. Get your head out of the sand and look at what's going on around you. I'm only giving you tidbits. There's so much more to it. You know, when an administration does some things, they're sporadic and you know, they cause controversy. This, for the short time that he's been in, we can see our country going down. Get on the computer and read Project 2025. Stephen Miller was in on it. Steve Bannon was in on it. Vought was in on it. They wrote it. They are taking over. This is going to be a legal coup. We'll go into that in a different show, but I want to do poster boards on it. Listen to what's going on, because if you don't, and they succeed, and going back to the Republican Party, even in this district, we have no representation. I will explain this very simple, and the vote today proved it. They want to pass a bill today, and they voted on it, and all Republicans voted because Trump said, if you don't, I'm coming after you. Now, when Trump says, if you don't, I'm coming after you, they will come to your house. They will come to your job. They will come after you. All those people that he released, they work for him. He said he will pardon them as long as they do what he wants. He is their SS. He is their Gestapo. He is their black shirts. He has militias out there that will terrorize you. You think it's a joke? How many governors did you see that somebody wanted to snatch up and kill? And it wasn't just Gretchen Whitmer. They were going into Chicago, then they were going into Ohio, and he's a Republican. The Republican Party does not represent people. They do not. And not only that, they don't even want to face their people. They came out with this bullshit. And I mean bullshit that Democrats were paid to come there. Let's set the record straight. It was Trump that paid people to stand at the golden escalator when he came down because nobody was there. He paid them. At his rallies, he paid them. There's a group that just followed him around the country and they were always there. You want to hear some shit? Listen to Jordan Klepper on YouTube talking to some of these people. It's dangerous. But what's even more dangerous is you've got a Congress, and they better watch their ass because Trump is looking to eliminate them. And if you think I'm joking, wait till you see Project 2025 Part 3. It does exist. Right now, they're giving him everything he wants. Every day he gets closer and closer and closer to closing the door and taking over the country. You think I'm joking? Take 2 steps back. Listen. Fox News, even Fox News is starting to turn on him. He took over the Kennedy Center. Well, Kid Rock has a place to go. Duck Dynasty has a place to go. He put Bartomo, or whatever the hell her name is, and Laura Ingraham on the board. Well, that's class right there. They know entertainment. You destroy an institution because you think you're more than what you are. We know what you are. The Republican Party does not represent their constituency, Democrat or Republican. They have closed the door on them. It was Republicans that went to those meetings. Trump can say that bullshit that it was Democrats that went. That's a lie. That is an absolute lie. And they weren't paid. Those were their constituents who voted for him. I saw 2 on the news the other day, man and a woman, different departments, saying, I voted for Trump. I supported Trump. And now I'm out of a job. And they're even pulling a fast one this way. If you accepted the buyout the first time, if you accepted it, they turned around and sent a notice to you that you were fired and you weren't getting it. Ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea what's going on. But you're going to find out real quick. You better get the facts. You better listen closer. I want to reiterate. Zelensky, you are a hero. Europe, you are heroes. I think maybe you need to suspend the United States from NATO and take care of this yourself. Because if you don't, and Joe Biden, every president makes some mistakes, but Joe Biden did so many good things, and Kamala Harris also would have done great things. But Trump, Trumpy poo, little Trumpy poo. For Europe, you want to treat him? When he comes in, sit him down, tell him he's pretty, and give him a cookie, because that's how smart he is. Just give him a cookie and tell him to shut the hell up. The last time he threw tantrums, he pushed people out of the way. He's a piece of crap. And I have the right to say it. So for those who don't think he's a piece of crap, bully for you. Again, you sharing our shit. Whatever he does to us, he's going to do to you. You don't get no dispensation. He used people to get votes. Didn't care. Oh, today, this is a good one. This just came out. They said eggs dropped $2 a dozen overnight. He was going to bring in I think I got it on here. Let's take a look. That, okay, let's see. Okay. He said he was going to bring in eggs from other countries. We had the bird flu. You know, this country, I can't find the article, but they said the Department of Agriculture said they were bringing in eggs from another country. Let's see if I got it here. unfortunately, wait a minute. I can't find it right now. Did you know this jackass wants to put his face on the $100 bill? There's a bill going through for that. He wants his face put on Mount Rushmore. And the dog killer is helping him. Christie, dog killer gnome. He also wants a Pulitzer Prize. He also wants a Nobel Peace Prize. What he's done to destroy this country, he has divided us. That's when he does his comedy show. I brought the country together. Like hell you did. This country has never been more divided. We're one step above a civil war. You didn't bring anyone together. You're an idiot. And I'm not going to candy coat it. This is why we're in trouble. You know, it's funny. We have a Republican representative who you can't talk to her. You can't go near her. And damned if you should call their office. I had a situation where I called their office, and they have responsibilities to their constituency. They are given money by the taxpayers for that. And they don't do it. They come up with some excuse. But when I called the idiot that was in her office here in Lake Orion, I don't know where she got him from. But you really don't even need to call their offices anymore. Or one, just so you know, if you call their offices, they will trace you. In another show, I'll bring up why that's so important. They really don't care what you think because you can go on an app and all their numbers will show up. You can call, get on the computer and go to their offices. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm going to step back. According to the Washington Examiner, which is the Charmin at the store has more truth to it, egg prices plunged nearly $2, now lower than when Trump took office. Brooke Rollins, that's what she said. The sad part is it isn't true. The eggs are still up. Trump said he was going to lower prices. That's not how the economy works. That's not how business works. He said it, you believed it because you wanted to. He wants to bring in, let's see what she said. Okay. In addition to possibly importing up to 100 million eggs from foreign markets. You know, let me explain something to you. Now, this is an area where I'm a reasonable expert. Reasonable. Eggs have a shelf life. To bring in 100 million, how much of that is going to be wasted? And you have to pay for it. All this, they're telling you something because it'll make you feel better. It doesn't have to be true. They just have to make you feel better. The truth is you'll go into the store and you'll still pay it. Ladies and gentlemen, for God's sakes, take 2 steps back and look at what's going on around you. You have to pay attention. You know, when I was talking about Canada, I mentioned Mexico. Now Canada, Trump is trying to play the game saying that fentanyl is coming through Canada. And they did say, they admitted 41 pounds got through. 41 pounds. Trump says there's factories up there. Well, it turns out that there are actual fentanyl factories in the United States. He wants to use the fentanyl to justify the tariffs. Tariffs are not, unless they're going to, unless they're going to put a tariff on fentanyl. He's using it as an excuse to scare you. Yes, fentanyl is here. It's manufactured here. It comes through the mail. The reason being is that some of the products that is used to make it can't be sniffed out. It's the assembly of it. And that's where Mexico came in. China was sending the individual ingredients all over. And they couldn't stop it because they couldn't tell. But then when it got to Mexico, then you bring all those parts together and you know, it's not like cocaine where the coca leaf is there and you go through the process. So they could have stopped it. Trump wants to use the tariffs because for some reason it satisfies him. I don't know. Maybe he sits around. Well, I can't say that. I gotta watch what I say here. He has no idea what he's talking about. That part is true. The first time he put the tariffs on, Canada and Mexico played him. He put them on. Oh, look at me. I'm rough and tough and full of stuff. Send me money. Everything is send me money. So he put them on, and they gave him something that Joe Biden had worked out before he left. So they gave him something they were already going to give him. And he backed off. He doesn't care, and neither does Musk or Vance or any of the others. They do not care about what happens to you. Because, see, you have to live with it. They don't. Trump lost just about everything. They're talking about, Christine Yom is talking about the people in there leaking information. And she's going to get to the bottom of it. You know, she's putting everyone through hell. You know, this is all for show. She is so unqualified. The biggest thing, she's a dog killer. I hate that. I don't give a damn what else she's done. She's a dog killer. You don't do that. Anyway, Trump was one of the biggest ones passing information. Do you think that he had those documents? There was a story that went around. I don't know if it's true, so it is a rumored story. I'm telling you it's a rumored story that he had some of the documents in his office in Mar-a-Lago where he would take the wives of some of the members and he would try to have sex with them by showing them these documents. Now, that's a rumor. Might be true, though. He did that when he was bringing people in from Mexico. He had to bring in certain people. Bet you can't guess what they were. He fired women because they were ugly. One of them sued him. They settled out of court. California. Trump has a distaste for women, as does Elon Musk. I can't say that about Vance. Vance is too stupid. Of course, Vance is someone that he gets his thrills at Lazy Boy. But how they view women is just disgusting. And for the women who want to back him, there was one woman on. She was being interviewed as a maggot, and they asked her, what do you think of Trump and what he said? And this woman had the nerve to say she would be proud to have Trump have her daughter. That was disgusting. It's on YouTube if you want to find it. I'm going to leave you with this. Because I don't know. I believe I've gone over my time. Maybe I haven't. I can go a little longer, I suppose. I don't know if I've said anything that's helped you. I mean, I ask you to listen. we need to start paying attention, which is why I'm here. Is there anger in my voice? You damn right there is. I watch this stuff on TV. I know better. I know better. The constituency in this country are not stupid. You know better. You know right from wrong. But when they tell you something, like when Trump brought up in the debate with Biden, he said that the Hispanics had to be thrown out because they were taking black jobs. Okay, people heard that. What do you think about it? Can you tell me? Hispanics are here doing the shit jobs that Americans wouldn't get out of bed for. Well, some of us would. I probably would, but I'm a workaholic anyway, so it doesn't matter. What is he referring to as black jobs? Someone needs to ask him. Anyone who is different is DEI. How is that? I look at people like people. But in my life, I have 3 ways to go. When I meet somebody, I like you. You know, we'll talk. Maybe, hi, how are you? How's everything? I got no use for you. I really don't know you. We'll coexist. Or I hate your goddamn guts. It makes it very simple for me. I don't give a damn what color you are. I don't care what religion you are, how much money you got, how much education you got. I like you or I don't. It's very simple. I invite you into my life, or I tell you to get the hell out. Quite simple. I don't have to look at somebody and make a judgment on them. And here's one that just grinds me. I want to save some time because I got a news flash for all of you. What the hell is woke? I am so sick of hearing woke this and woke that. They told me that Dr. Seuss was woke. That came from an idiot down in Texas, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz he's a lunatic. They should take his so-called degrees back because they didn't educate him. He was a DEI. When they say they have to put one handicapped person in, he's mentally handicapped. So they took him in law school and got him through. He sat in the back of the class. That is one stupid son of a bitch. Ted Cruz, if you're listening, I just said that. By the way, when I call your office, you don't answer anyway. You keep saying, leave your number. You don't call back. You're afraid to because I caught you. I caught you on several things. But that dumb SOB took a bunch of Dr. Seuss books, 200 of them, signed them, and then sold them for $20 each. I'm sorry, I grew up with Dr. Seuss. I didn't have a problem with him. One fish, blue fish, red fish, blue fish, whatever the hell it was. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. What is this woke shit? Everything is woke this and woke that. Hey, we're not going to have a woke army. Listen, when a bullet is coming towards your head, it doesn't ask, are you woke? This is a word that they came up with. They like to play with it. One woman got caught on Fox News when they asked her what woke meant, and she said, oh, I'm going to be in trouble. They play it and use it. Come on, people. Just cut the stuff out. Just act like human beings. There's nothing woke about anybody. Take that word and put it away. If you are woke, it means you're not asleep. How's that? There's a good meaning for you. But then when I try to find out all this other stuff, oh, that's woke. What's woke? The military's woke. What exactly does that mean? That's all you hear. I'm going to get rid of the wokeness. Or is there a meaning that you don't want to tell us? That's what I think it is. Okay, I still got some time, so let's get started into one more. This is kind of fun. I hope, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I am trying to wake you up. Oh, I want you to be woke. How's that? Be woke to what the hell's going on around you. How's that? But 5 years ago today, my wife and I, we were on our anniversary. We were in Vegas. And it was a Sunday night. And my wife wanted a drink, so we went to the bar, and the bartender told us, oh, it's a good thing you came in tonight because we're closed tomorrow. Now, for anyone who's been to Vegas, the Strip is just nonstop people. They say New York is a city that never sleeps. Well, Vegas is a city that never stops. I mean, they just keep going and going and going. And the next day, after we had to get dinner, but it was hard to get because everything was full. There were people everywhere. And the next day, we were going on a tour to see the Grand Canyon. Well, as I said, we went to New York. And then when we went back there the next day, and this wasn't even 12 hours later, this was less than that, they had closed every restaurant. They had closed the casino. They had closed everything. Everything was closed, and the people that got on board the bus said they all had to leave that day. They had to be out. Like I say, for those that have been to Vegas, you know that city never stops. On Tuesday, the city was completely shut down. You couldn't find you couldn't find a parking garage because they were all closed. They had the police out. If we counted on the entire Strip 100 people, that was a lot. They had gone into quarantine. That was eerie for there. To see all those hotels, millions of rooms, and they were all shut down. Restaurants were shut down. The grocery stores had little or no food. Vegas was kind of funny because they have a store out there called Smith's, which is under the Kroger umbrella. And it's kind of funny is after you get your change, you can go into the casino right there in the store and try your luck. That's convenience. But it was really strange. The pandemic under Obama, there was the bubonic plague. Obama did the right thing and was able to control it. Before that, it was the bird flu under Bush, and they were able to control that. Because they knew what they were doing. They got experts in there, and they took care of it. They had knowledge. And then here comes COVID-19. And just to clarify for Trump, COVID-19 was not the 19th COVID. I don't know where the hell you came up with that. COVID-19 was 2019 when it came about. Now, how it came about, there's a lot of stories. We don't know for sure. We have some good evidence, but we don't know for sure. But Trump, when he couldn't handle it, he blamed it on somebody, which is how he operates. Whatever happens, if it's good, he did it. When the sun comes up, that's his fault. When it snows or it rains and there's flooding, that's the Democrats' fault. Or it's the weatherman's fault. Or he can take a Sharpie. Can you believe that they want to close Noah because Noah challenged him on the Sharpie and then went along with it while he was in office. And when he got out, they said, yes, he did do that. He took a Sharpie and included Alabama. What a narcissistic, egotistic bastard. And you're closing Noah. To all the people who have weather problems and fire problems and heat waves, thank Trump because he doesn't want you to know about it. There was a reason for Noah. It was to save people. And his job during COVID was to save people. And all he worried about was his ratings coming out there every day. You know what he didn't pay attention to? The numbers. The numbers of people who had to be stored in trailers. The ones that were dying day after day after day. He had no sympathy for any of them. All he worried about was himself. And then he brings in 2 doctors. One of them was on Fox News talking shit. And I mean shit. He read MRIs and somehow he became the spokesman for COVID. His job was to read an MRI paper. But Trump, he sounded good, so he must be good. Oh, that's going to be another show. That's going to be a good one there. But we have another plague here. And they say it's the H1N1. You don't even know how much it has spread because it's not just with chickens and poultry, but it's now gotten into the cattle. It's not gotten into the wildlife, and a few people have been hurt by it. But of course, Kennedy, maybe Kennedy's way of taking care of measles is the same way you take care of this. Drink some cod liver oil. Hey, everybody, you don't need Red Bull. Drink cod liver oil. This comes from a man with a worm in his brain. You know, he's disgracing the Kennedy name. He absolutely, I don't care what any Kennedy did. This is the worst. I'll put it equal to Ted Kennedy. But we have a new plague here. And it's dangerous. And it's been around for a while. The symptoms are hate, deceit, violence, discord, not using your brain. It must affect the brain. It's called Trumpism. There was a book that was written that said everything Trump touches, he destroys. And I believe that to be true. And I'm going to reiterate, this is nothing with the Republican Party, except for the ones that don't want to represent their people. I ran for office. I explained to every person that I asked to vote for me how the system worked. But it doesn't work that way now. The Republican Party has pledged homage to their new king, the source of the virus. He makes people stupid. He brings out hate. Turns people out. No empathy, no sympathy, nothing. Just greed, ego, narcissist. And this has permeated through the country. And I don't know that there's a cure for it. With the time I have left, I'm going to ask you. Hopefully you have a pen or pencil there. But there's 3 shows that I would like you to watch. And if you have the time and you're willing to do it, what I'm about to ask you, we don't do too much anymore. I would like to ask you to watch these shows and give me your response to them. You ready with a pen and pencil? If not, I'll try to repeat it so that you can hopefully remember. Number 1, Star Trek, Season 1. The episode is called The Day of the Dove. I repeat. Star Trek, original series, Season 1, episode, The Day of the Dove. Trump is in that episode. You'll see him. 2, The Twilight Zone. I'm not sure what season, but the title of that show is called The Howling. The Twilight Zone episode called The Howling. Trump is in that one also. If you watch these, it will explain the disease of Trumpism. Now the one for the people. And this is something that, when we're in school, they have you read certain books, the Red Badge of Courage, and no, I wasn't much for reading. I was more, I liked factual things, not so much fiction. I like nonfiction. I like facts and history. History when they tell you the truth. And this show, it's on. You can buy it or you can get it on your computer. I don't know if you can stream it. It's called Animal Farm by George Orwell. I don't know what they teach in school now, but George Orwell wrote some very significant books. But the reason I asked you to watch the show is so you can physically see it. Reading it is good, but this is a movie that was done. It's a semi-cartoon. But it puts forth the point. And if you watch it, it was actually written for Russia. And if Russia ever came over here to the United States, that was one of the theories of it. George Orwell is gone, so I can't ask him. But I think if you watch it, you'll see the point to all of it. And you'll see what's happening to us right now. Again, Animal Farm by George Orwell. And unfortunately, I can't think of the title of it. I should have brought that with me. That's my fault. But I want to leave you with a thought, because I only have a few minutes left. All these cuts that are taking place, and I'm sorry I'm rambling on, there's just so much going on right now. I never in my life thought that our world would go into chaos in just 7 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever the case may be. But it has. And if we don't hurry up and save it, I would say, first of all, I believe that Trump is going to stay in office if he gets away with this. You will have a king again. And he will siphon your life. It's sad that our kids will not have it as good as we did because of the lies, the deceit, keeping people divided. If you see me on the street and you want to talk, I'll talk. I'll respect your opinion. I may disagree with it. But at least we can talk. But I leave you with this thought. All these cuts, all these people that are losing their jobs, they're done on a whim. It doesn't just affect the individuals who walk out of there and don't know where their next paycheck is going to come from. Now, on Joe Rogan, Musk said political empathy was dangerous and we should not have it. I think it was political empathy. It was empathy just the same. We should not have it for other people. But take yourself. What if you went into your job and they terminated you? Told you to leave. Give you 15 minutes to clean out your desk. Be empathetic to that person. Now, after you've done that and how you would feel, now what I want you to do is look at your wife when you get to come home and tell her, I'm sorry, I'm out of a job. And she says to you, how are we going to pay the rent? How are we going to pay this? All those things that you have, they ain't for free. You got to pay for them. How are you going to look at your kids? It's not just one person. Then when those people in that community cannot buy things, the store owners start losing money. Your town will go down because there's not much tax base coming in. You'll scramble. These people were doing a job to help people, especially in the VA. They were caring for our soldiers, and now they're cutting it because they don't need it. But you know who does need it? And try to see if you can be empathetic to this. While Trump and Musk are cutting all these people, while they're cutting them, they're working on a tax bill so they pay less. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, all the others are suffering with their billions of dollars. They need more. You don't. They cut your pissant paycheck compared to what they have so that they can have more because, I mean, look at Musk. The son of a bitch can't afford a tie. He's very religious, though. They said be fruitful and multiply, and damned if he didn't. You're telling me that these people that they're cutting, now remember this too, if they can, on a whim, cut them, how long will it be before these billionaires who gets tax cuts, who buy their way into cutting unions, and we will become an economic servitude? Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the song 16 Tons. I sold my soul to the company store. That may be where we're going to head for. Okay. Again, empathetically, put yourself in their place. Would you like that? Was it fair to them? Were they lazy people or were they just people who were doing a job? Think about it. Because they fired them so fast, you couldn't go through and say, oh, you're good, you're not. You have bad attendance, you're not. It didn't matter. They were just a number. Okay. I got a minute to sign off. I rambled. I tried not to, but I did anyway. I hope you heard something that may help you. That's my intent, to let you know. I consider myself educated beyond my intelligence. But I ain't stupid. I know right from wrong. I can look at something and give an intelligent answer. And I believe you can too. I hope, please watch those shows. Get some insight. Make yourself think. Look around you. This is your world. Save it. I'm going to sign off now, and hopefully we'll do another show. Hopefully you liked what you heard. Please write in. Tell the station what you thought. If you tell them to keep me off the air, I understand. But thank you for listening.